Okay guys, welcome back to Rogue Trader. As I said earlier, before we got started here during the talky bits, I have quite the bad throat. I didn't stream the first half of this week, and all weekend I've had a lumpy infection growing, which has been lovely. It's shrunk down to almost nothing today. But I probably won't be reading out all the text. Don't even have the money for my own new PC. My rig is so old. Same. I'm still running on this 1080. It's struggling on valiantly. Such a fucking good card. It is an amazing card. The things this thing is able to do still, and make look fairly decent. I'm pretty sure if I put it right next to a 4090 or something, or a 4080 even, it's gonna blow it out of the water for sure. But with absent, any comparison to other cards with all those new graphics technologies, ray tracing and shit, and RTX, yeah, things still look good. So we have our navigator. That was the last thing we did. We obtained our weirdo. Here she is. Here's our weirdo. We obtained Cassia, the navigator. And she's very dogmatic, as she should be. As I wouldn't want to have a navigator who was heretical. Let's put it that way. She'll get on great over here with our girl Argenta, but she does kind of have a Carmelia from Castlevania on Netflix anime look about her, and I'm not digging it at all. I'm sorry, but it's too creepy for me. It's all about Argenta. Idira's also fun, but she's kind of like someone you go and have drinks with and play a game of pool, So, and I do apologize that there'll be a bit of throat clearing happening every now and then. I'll try and mute if things get too bad. You can't even play modded Minecraft? Oh no! Wow. Everything lags. In WoW, there's too much happening on screen. Are there not some graphical options you can maybe slow down a little bit? Because I know in Guild Wars, that'll lag when there's tons of shit happening. That's MMO problems all over. Even people on high-end rigs will get a lot of lag. And to get the best out of it, there's little options that you can toggle off, like character nameplates and low polygon models for other characters, and turning off their pets and other shit, and turning off everyone's attack effects apart from yours. And some things are good to do, some aren't, depending what you're doing. And so you can tell on screen what's actually happening. Yeah. It's like that even with the lowest possibles. No, and it wasn't about 1 to 2 years ago. Yeah. Well, that's too bad. Too bad. I mean, I do want to get a new rig eventually. I'm hoping next year I can look at rebuilding this into a modern PC again. Get it comparable to Shy's, And then maybe I can play some of the newer games that are, severely graphically intense. So what do we need to do next? We can go to Rykad Minoris and look for the interrogator there, and I think we can fix up our crew situation. We got huge crew losses. During the cultist raid, we can be remedied on Rykad Minoris. And then we also need to find ourselves an engine seer prime somewhere out there. Then there's the prison planetoid as well. I kind of wouldn't mind going there. But what was that again? Warden of the Expanse. Yes, that's the Lord Inquisitor. We have no contracts yet. We haven't even gotten to that part of the game yet. Chip combat and contracts and shit? No. Yeah. So we're gonna have a look. So we've done Iraq 5. I think also the place self-destructed. They blew the place up after we were done, if I remember correctly. Again, it's been a while. Rykad Majoris. And then over here we've got the prison planetoid. We've got an unidentified void ship. I still don't want to go and mess with that yet. Oh no, what is going on? Right, so brief reading today because of throat situation. Sorry to disturb you. Pandemonium outside the bridge gate. Another rebellion! Kill them all! An officer is demanding an audience. Master Vasarian's voice. And who is that? And do they have voice acting lines to spare my sore throat? You seen any cat girls yet? No, we have to go to a Furry Prime in order to find those. We haven't been there yet. Rumor has it it's got some Eldar blood in it. It's weird. Strange people. Possibly heretical. I like how I'm sitting the wrong way around. Ah! Good evening, Mr. Bond. All I need is a Persian cat when I do that. Aha! Oh, shit. And a cigarette in like a Charleston holder or something. This is not the conduct of an officer. Yeah, you get him told, Abe. You tell this guy, this highborn brat out on a lark. Oh, look at this dude. He's like a freaking... He's just a soldier. He's like, yeah, I am just a, you know, a dude with a rifle. The dark echelons. Okay. She falters. Oh, it's a she. Okay. Shouldn't assume. Warhammer ain't just a man's world, you know. Must speak to me, then speak. Alright, Lieutenant, address the Lord Captain. Do not disturb, though. Oh yeah, you're gonna get a note in your file about this. You're gonna get a note in your file about this. So... Avrilla Vent. That's your name? Avrilla Vent? You've come to vent at me, have you? Avrilla? Alright. Falls silent and then adds rashly on a matter of excuse me, Lord Captain, can I speak to you? It's urgent. Oh shit, okay then. Fuck. You may speak, but I want to hear a report, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering in full view of the bridge is unacceptable. Looking at you, Abe. You're the real instigator here. I will not tolerate this conduct. Abe, assign the lieutenant an appropriate punishment. You have 1 minute to state your business. No, this is the thing, I'm still role-playing myself as like this smarmy criminal dude who was like, yeah, I grew up in the underhives, bro. I'm fine, I'm chill. Look, speak. You're good. Unless what you've got to say is trite, and then latrine duty. Shit. Scrubbing them with a toothbrush. This cannot wait. An assault. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks to crush workers' strikes by any means necessary. This is unwarranted. And makes it weird. It's going to make shit worse for us because we don't have many crew yet. So we're going to, what, kill more of the crew who are rightly pissed off that shit sucks right now? That's why I'm on my way to go and get more crew. I was actually going to go to the planet where we get more crew. Ease that situation, and then an engine seer can finally come aboard afterwards. No point getting an engine seer on board if they don't have crew to do shit for them. And we need the ship functional. A skeptical huff. Latrine duty? But sir, should we just send all of it into space? Did I stutter? Scrub the... It's like, yes we do, but it has to go through some tubes first. So it's those tubes that you're scrubbing. You know, the septic tanks get full and we eject it, by all means. Can you imagine that, though? Like on spaceships, if we ever get to this kind of scale, that will be the case. We will be ejecting the septic tank waste into space. There will be meteorites of ice-hardened shit floating around in space. It's just going to be this, like, big, chunky, like, hard rock of shit just drifts away from the ship's hull. Like, ew. I know right now, of course, like, we do that anyway, right? They eject like the urine and stuff and it goes out and it like gets misted out and it becomes like a fine spray. That's fine. I'm talking about like when you've got 100,000 people on a ship, all of them crapping into a single receptacle. And then when that's full every day, a door to the outside opens and it just gets shoved out by like a piston. Like, it's like the ship itself is taking a gigantic crap. You're welcome for that mental image, by the way. You're welcome. I'd say it just goes straight away into space, double hatch on the flush. Could do that too, yeah. They could just say like one flush and it just goes, you know, out it goes, and just this like single torpedo of poop just goes and flies out of the ship. That would work. Hell, that'd make a good ship-to-ship weapon. Just a load of hatches on the side of the ship and just command all the crew to take a crap at once and fire the broadside. Yeah, like on a train, exactly, yeah. Which is really disgusting when you think about it. Train tracks are basically splattered with shit. Ew. Investigate the actions of Seneschal Viserion. Okay. And who is the Seneschal? I'm guessing this guy? I mean, isn't Abe our... Oh, Abe. That is his surname. I get it now. Okay, I'm catching up again. Intervening what is happening on the lower decks. Very soon we'll have a mutiny and a massacre. You want me to punish my own Seneschal? There's an insurrection in the making aboard my ship and no one has informed me? Let's go with that, like... Wouldn't deem it a problem worthy of a Lord Trader's attention. I guess it's like, look, this is my beat. So this is why I'm here, is to deal with these things so you don't have to. But a revolutionary leader rise up who dared establish workers' rule across the ship. Took months to restore order. 8 years later, we're still battling the rumors that the hero survived the execution. Oh, I see. I see. So... they've got their own little Jane Cobb situation, have they? Are the Mudders rebelling? Did they make a statue of them? The man they call Jane. What happens on the lower decks stays on the lower decks. Exactly, Your Honor. Exactly. On this ship, the word of the Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. If the rogue trader addresses the malcontents, it will quell the unrest. That's a good point. Maybe I should. Dread to think the problems that would disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps to break up a brawl in the mess room. Hey, I'm game. I'm actually game to get in on that. Or at least make some bets. If there is a brawl and there's gambling going on, I want to know about it, because I've got some money in my pocket. It's burning a hole. Alright. When did this start? Or how, rather? Could boil over any minute, give the condensed version. Forces found cultist amulet on the body of someone killed in a drunken brawl. Reported up the chain. For cleansing rite to be performed, no heretics were found alive. It's weird that, because we had a whole ship full of them a little while ago. Okay, and where does the Seneschal fall into this? I shall explain. Yes, please do. Hurry, time is running out. He's like, no, it's a long explanation. And he's looking at his watch like, okay, the enforcers are going to attack in about 20 minutes. I need to really drag this out. I will not hurry. My competence is under scrutiny. I will speak as long as I see fit. Fuck. Okay, Abe. Do it. There is an established way things get done on the ship. Pillars, rogue traders' attention shouldn't be diverted. My role to ensure that. I've handled the problem myself. It sounds to me like the problem you've been handling has grown into a bigger problem, so shouldn't it come to my attention now? I shall not live as long as the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valancius find refuge on our ship. So he sees this as a further, like, cleansing action of those who, like, you know, cast off their heretic-looking garb and put their old uniforms back on and blended back in with us. Like, yeah, we're with you guys still. 2 heavy-handed arrests and punishments for sectors. Driven people to the brink. Strike on the lower decks in Depot 4. 3 worker clans involved, more passively supporting them. Received the order to dispatch and crush. And what is in Depot 4? Poor sector of a lower deck. Clans and general labourers. Ship of the families who served the specialized systems for... Oh, not as valuable as those who served specialized systems for generations. He's like, these guys, they just carry boxes all day. They're not valuable. Anybody can do that. You know, the people who, like, know how to turn the particular valves that feed the cooling system to one particular thruster, they're the people we need to keep, because they're skilled. These fuckers over here, nope. They scrub the decks. We can always get more. They're not valuable. Wow, Abe. Welcome to Warhammer. Your life isn't valuable. Poor and troubled, drunken fights and illegal rotgut brewing. Wait. You mean I can get booze down there? I'm going. I have to investigate this. Absolutely. So there's been crackdowns. Not limited to the sector. Okay. Cool. I hope you guys are reading this. I'm sorry I'm not reading everything out loud as I usually do. But I can manage a few words at a time and then my throat starts to sting. We may not go very long today. I want to see how far I can go, though. Abe, what do you have to say? No need to add anything. Acted within the remit of my authority. Mm-hmm. If you wish to confirm my actions, I have no objections. So the Master at Arms, ships and forces report to you. You seem hesitant to provide a perspective. Mm-hmm. That's because the Master at Arms, who's new at their job, doesn't want to piss off Abe. Like, I don't know what to say in the middle of all this. I'm new. I think they are, right? Aren't they the new? Were they one of the new officers? I think they were, because we lost a lot of officers. I think the helmsman, Abe, as our seneschal, and I think maybe the damage control guy. Everybody else, I think, are new at their jobs. Oh, and the Factorum dude. Everyone else, I think, were new at their jobs. Because the arch-militant before must have been the Master-at-Arms, right? Mort. So, Mort 2.0, what say you? Jocasta Sauerbach. Actually, no, we haven't met this person, have we? Did we meet Jocasta? Unlike Lieutenant Vent, I respect the chain of command and realize it's not within my rights to challenge my superiors. Bowser had Ablard's direction. And then a serpentine smile on her lips. Oh, I don't like you already, but I kinda do. I entirely share Vasarian's opinions on the fate of Depot 4 deserves. I must note this insubordination is a direct consequence of the practices that he himself has introduced. Fuck. It's like, I recognize that there's a chain of command. I do not have the right to challenge my superiors, but it's his fault. He did this. Isn't that right, Fresco? He did this. Yes, he did. He did this. So you've decided to follow on the lieutenant's example. After all, such behavior does you no credit. We're going to really piss Abe off here. I've got 2 officers, one who's like a lower lieutenant, of course, one of hundreds of thousands on the ship, probably. You know, well, not hundreds of thousands. We don't have that much crew, but you know what I mean. One of hundreds on the ship. Maybe 1,000 or so of these people. There's only one of her, and there's only one of him. These 2 here are sparking. Do you wish to respond? He just did. Let's not bother. Lieutenant Vent, would you say the Seneschal has singled you out from your peers in any way? Shit, I'm not doing that. Do you feel victimized? It appears I've unearthed an old squabble. I'd prefer to be left out of it. that basically means what happens, happens. Here's the thing. If we intervene, if we do that, it's going to be like, yay, there's peace and tranquility on the ship for a little while. And then a little bit later, it's going to be like, surprise, bitches, we're betraying you. We were actually heretics all along. Fuck all y'all. And we got another uprising. And I'll be like, damn it, Abe was right. I should have trusted you, Abe. If we go with Abe on this, you know what's going to happen? This lieutenant is going to basically become mutinous later on, along with many others that share their view, because they seem to be a singular person. We haven't yet asked them, and I think this is weird. Does anybody else among the enforcers share your particular viewpoint? And Jocasta is going to probably side with them and be like, great, now we can mutiny, because, you know, and try to get Abe booted out, and I have to defend him. We have just a few hundred humans, the rest are not considered humans. Curious. I know, well, again, welcome to Warhammer. Welcome to 40k. Where common life, I mean, it's basically a space feudal system. Common life means nothing. Only the nobles matter. They are the civilization. Everyone else is just cattle that walks through it. They are the grease that keeps the gears of the community turning, and they will be grease because they will be pulverized into grease and grease the wheels. And the people turning the wheels are the nobles. Welcome to feudalism. First time? That's basically where we're at right now. Welcome to feudalism. Get into the grease machine. It's time to be boiled down into some kind of, like, gloop so that we can keep the wheels turning. Oh boy. And the nobles become the wheels themselves too. True enough, yes. Depends on whether other nobles have designs on them. Yeah, Sauerback. Give me a bit more than that. Let's go with this first. I just want a little bit more info before we make a decision. Regulations state Master at Arms is responsible for resolving all matters of ships and forces. It's no secret the Seneschal has a tendency to show partiality. Officers who he has deemed particularly promising are at times given permission to approach him for tutelage. Oh, he's crossing the streams. His experience and insight as the Seneschal has a record of fostering students, and they achieve much to demonstrate impeccable performance. So he has his own Abelard school of how to be a soldier. He is a former Navy officer. I think maybe he's found it hard to adjust to that role of no longer being involved in the fostering of the crew. Never cross the streams! Weakness of the flesh disgusts me. Well, we're gonna get an engine seer soon, so then we can have the Mechanicus. Oh boy. So he extends patronage over the head of the immediate superior and discourages disrespect for the hierarchy among your lordship's servants. So he's been he's here saying, like, there's chains of command on this ship. He's circumventing them to elevate people in positions, you know, like people he feels are promising, and bringing them up through the ranks, circumventing their immediate superiors. Today an enforcer goes to the Seneschal to report an order from the Master-at-Arms they happen to disagree with. Tomorrow they will go to the Lord Captain to object to the Seneschal's orders. I noticed a pattern in these actions. So basically Jocasta is saying, Vent coming here to vent at us about this is a symptom of the shipboard culture that Abe has been creating. He goes around and over people's heads all the time, at the lower ranks, in order to foster promising individuals, and while they may have exemplified themselves, other people see this and think, well, what does the rank structure matter? And that Jocasta is basically saying we need to adhere much more firmly to our hierarchy and establish separations of departments again. Abe? Can you recall an occasion where I would encourage an officer to disobey their superior, or where they would overrule their orders? I show favoritism to those who merit none. I kind of go with Abe on this. I think as well for our character that like flexibility might very well be what we want to encourage, which means I shouldn't be pissing Abe off. But what do we do about the people on the lower decks? They're my people. You know, I feel like my guy would vibe with them. He'd want to see them brought around to a better way of thinking without dismantling Abe's way of doing things. There have been no cases the entire time I've served on the ship, and they would have them pay for insulting his honor with blood if they did. But the conduct in this regard is spotless. Nevertheless, given their eminent position, a simple show of attention on your part is enough to erode the propriety of a junior officer and inflate their sense of importance. Sound like Jocasta's a little bit disgruntled that people under her don't come to her, they come to him. Which is a valid complaint too, but is it something my character would give a shit about? Probably not. You distinguish them and let them know them by name is tantamount to walking around the officer's deck handing out gifts to officers who've caught your eye. Enforcers are supposed to be the faceless servants, fighters ready to die. My character would definitely understand the need for that, maybe. But in the gangs, things were probably done different from that. This is authority. This is the face of authority. You know, the mirrored faceplate of the riot helmets, basically. This is like the Balaclava Brigade, you know, with the truncheons and riot shields. Those are the people that my guys probably stood across the line from every now and then. So, I don't know, maybe we wouldn't... if I'm going to play my character, we wouldn't back Sourback. They'd be a Sourback. They'd be quite sour. A Sourback. There was a joke in there somewhere, and I think I just grazed it with my fingertips. Vent. Has the Seneschal singled you out in any way? Now we can roll into that, because that makes a bit more sense now. Has never granted me privileges, never once advocated for me, nor facilitated my promotions. Did convince me to become an officer in the first place. Offered a guidance in my service, for which I'm grateful. Not all my fellows receive such attention. Dozens of officers whom the Seneschal keeps in his sights to ensure they continue to strive. So he gives with one hand and blocks with the other. But Vent has been potentially... So, yeah. So Vent is someone who the Seneschal has kind of shown some favoritism to in the past, and that's why they now feel the need to barge in here and bypass everybody. Preparing new generations of the dynasty's servants to instruct them and separate those with potential from those who have exhausted it is my duty. Truth. I think that's right. I do agree quite a lot with Abe on all this. Yeah. Bay's worth of pilots and enforcers, officers and technicians and stewards who I have raised personally by the throne. Every third person standing on the bridge right now was a student of mine at one point. Is that a threat, Seneschal? It's like, a lot of the people on this bridge, I put them here, by the way. Just saying. Excuse me. I see. Evidently my officers are anything but a shining example of unity and adherence. I have only myself to blame, I suppose. I blame myself for being so good at my job. Shit. Wow. Go down to the decks and deal with them. Seneschal is acting within authority. I will verify the soundness of the decision for myself. Not worthy of my time. It's 3 or 4. I don't know. Being on the bridge is punishment. Cool. No, he's saying that the people on the bridge have been brought here because he saw promise in them. The Seneschal wouldn't put people on the bridge, you know, who were bad at their job. That's a bad place to put some. That's the latrine scrubbing with the toothbrush right there. That's, you know, oh, you're greasing the barrels of the gun. Oh, that sounds really bad. Yeah, you're greasing the barrels of the macro cannons, like, between combat in a void suit. That's your job, because you suck. Now, I think Abe, people he doesn't see promise in, he leaves them to just stay where they are. That's what I'm getting from this. People who he sees promise in, he gives advice, he mentors them, and people come to him when they have, like, things they can't go to their commanding officers about because they're not really about their duty, but about the wider implications of duty, ship, how to approach situations, you know, shit like that, right? That your own officer would not care about, as long as it didn't impact their department. And as a result, he allows people to ascend the ranks. But that goes around officers like Jocasta, for instance, the Enforcer officer, and maybe the Factorum officers, and Void Masters, and so on, you know, and the Vox Master. Macro cannons. That's what I like to call it. The Emperor's macro cannon. I'm going to go to the lower decks. These are my people still, and I want to see them. Praise the Emperor. Thank you, Lord Captain. This is probably going to piss him off. An enterprise bordering on soft... Don't you throw weird words at me, Abe. I know this word, I just can't say it. Sophomoric. Okay. Please, Lord Captain, but please yourself. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. I'm not going down there without an escort, bro. All of y'all are coming with me. This is everybody's mess, and you're going to watch me fix it. That's what's going to happen right now. I regret the Enforcer's unable to handle the situation and led to you and the Seneschal's involvement. Man, I regret this descended into a place where I don't get to just do it all myself. Consider it my duty to go to Depot 4 and see the expedient resolution of the incident. Oh my. Are we about to go into combat? Are these like... They're required. Everybody comes. Yes, tell Adira, Argenta, Hecate, and Cassia to show up. I'm going to introduce the lower deck crew to my mutant. Hello, behold my strange human being with a third eye and talons. Red eyes. Now, what are your complaints? How might I help all of you today? Oh, and the woman over there in the power armor with the bolter that fires exploding bullets. Don't pay her any mind. It's fine. I'm not holding her out here as a threat. I'm rolling with my girls, basically. We've got Adira, Hecate, we've got Argenta, and Cassia. I'm like, look at my ladies. Look at my ladies. They're all dangerous. For instance, she can look at you with her third eye and melt you. How about that? Alright. So what's going... Oh, yeah, just... You know... alter my fucking camera perspective. Take that, scum! Are they just throwing stink bombs at him? It's all your fault! Hey, Abe, you feeling love? He just turns around standing in a pool of bubbling acid like, well, that could have gone better. You like dangerous ladies. Yes, don't we all? Especially dangerous ladies called Argenta. Wipes the sweat from his brow. Like, well, shit. A source of endless problems. Yeah, I guess. Regret we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. Abe, please. Don't tempt me. Did you hear? They were shouting your name. They know you. People dared to disrespect a senior officer. Not have a chance to express such disrespect if we were not here and the situation had been dealt with. No, you're missing the point. The fact that they're doing that means they're really angry, and we should probably fix the anger as opposed to just beating them all over the head. Stop them. It's like, no, we needed to not be here because we're the object of their anger. and we shouldn't have had to deal with this. And it's like, but it's happening, so I think we should. The junior officer's worst failing to pass the problems up the chain of command, never been able to abide it. Hey, you trained this officer. Must admit the lieutenant is by no means the worst material as an officer, but the name of Terra the girl is the same age as my eldest great-granddaughter, and she has the gall to tell me how to manage the lower deck to hunt down cultists. That didn't look like cultist activity, that was just someone who thinks that we're the enemy. So they shouted you by name. Organization of the daily routine life of the ship rests on my shoulders. Yep, so he hands down the duty roster of like 10,000 to 10,000 people. Nice. Is it 10? How much does this ship have? Or is it more like 8 or 7,000 people, I think? Something like that. I don't remember now. It's been a cause for concern. Okay. To them, you are akin to a creature of legend. Well, I will indeed etch my legend into their memories, that's for sure. What about this guy over here? Something resembling a nest of thermal insulation where the workers sleep between shifts. Okay. Lower deck rabble. How about we don't run through the gloop? We got valves. Okay. What is this?
Do not see our purpose in coming here.
I'm inspecting the piping.
Relax, old man. Going for a stroll on the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. Lets you see how the simple folk live.
Don't forget as well, the last time Adira was down here in the lower decks, she saved Voxmaster Vigdis from being basically beaten to death by lower deck rabble just by her sheer presence. She just showed up. Alright, what's going on? She was just like, you know, hi, I can melt all of you with my brain. So leave Vigdis alone. Heated discussions reverberating. Vent is venting again. She's barring the path for the superior Jocasta. Wow. Wow. She's literally... Wow. Okay, she's just standing her ground. I think your career's over, Vent. My patience is wearing thin. I have given you an order. Get out of my way. I thought the understanding here, though, was that I'm coming here to resolve the situation and Jocasta should maybe be respecting that instead of marching arbiters into the place. Cannot comply. The deck is my sector and the area remains under the Lord Captain's oversight. Right now. That's true. It's under my current special oversight. No action should be taken without my express permission. Wow. Fuck me. Aren't you special today, Vent? So not all my lessons fell on deaf ears. Crabby approval. So he kind of approves of her doing this. Like, at the very least, she's like, actually, no, she's kind of right to stand her ground right now. You've made your choice, and Jocasta is disrespecting that. Your lordship. Yes. We encountered locals on the way here. Their conduct was outrageous and throw something at us. I want to speak to the strikers. I give the assault unit permission to open fire. It's like, yeah, I came down here. They threw some gloop at us, so kill them all. No, I am not fucking King Joffrey, okay? They threw a cow pie at you, so you tried to kill them all, you fool. Yes. What is the situation right now? My people have locked down the bay where the strikes are, including the leaders. Situation is currently under control as the resources allow. I came in to lead an investigative unit, and what do I see? The rabble on the verge of mutiny. And you think riot troopers is going to, like, somehow quell that? No, they will fight, because they know you've already come here to crack skulls. Calls for an immediate repression. Okay, I will speak to them first, and then if they do bad shit, you can go in and break some skulls. Ablard's mouth twists. Speaking to the commoners. I was a commoner, Abe. Allow me to wish you good luck. That's right, get the feck out of here, y'all. So, where are we? Are we going down? Is it down here? Is that where I'm supposed to be? Is that why y'all ran that way, not this way? Okay, I guess so. Hello, everybody. What seems to be the boggle? Look at this guy, ready to throw hands. Dozen pairs of eyes stares apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower deck. Crude clothing and scars and mutations. Okay. And then we've got one person right here. Oh, and another one right here. So what's going on? Hi. You guys are, I think, a little put out right now. Is that correct? A whisper passes through the crowd, detects fears and astonishments. Did you not expect me today? Lord Captain, you've come down to us. But this is space, so down could be up or left or whatever. Don't care. Why are you striking? That's news to us. Oh? All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. And are you not working while doing that? Because that's called striking, bro. Don't play games with me. Don't do language games with me. No. Shut up, Rivet. Yes, Rivet. Shut your mouth. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your enforcers are all over down here looking for cultists, one wrong word, and they reach for their batons. They want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to the whole bay for a week at the time. We get sick and freeze. 2 people died in the clan. 2 little ones died from inflammation in the lungs. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes. Yes, this is the other thing. I kind of knew. She's a sister of battle. They are still a religious order, and they view all servants of the Imperium as valuable, no matter what. They do not actually see things in the same light as, say, Abe does, that feudal tiered caste society. Every life is precious in the name of the Emperor, and her role is to protect all of these people. Compassion is how they live their life. Compassion with exploding bolter rounds, but nonetheless. But say that kids are dying down here in the cold, oh, she's gonna tear up. So I'm gonna help these people, because then she's gonna like me. But it's also the right thing to do. Clearly. Is it all true? Excuse me. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go very long today. I'm not even doing voices. That usually wrecks my throat. So it's true, Vent's the only officer who stands up for us. It's clear as who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidship. Did Vent come from the lower decks? Is that why we're doing this? Oh, really? We're not villains, we're honest workers and your servants. We've plotted no disorder. Okay. The persecution started apropos of nothing. I was told one of yours was found in possession of a cultist amulet, and that there are heretics hiding here. What's that? The gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard? If it was something evil or forbidden, we didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics, and anyone obstructing investigation will be punished. How could there possibly be heretics here? I don't know. There have been no new faces around. This is the thing, these lower deck crowd, they're a tight crowd. They live in clans and they all know each other. It's the comings and goings of the amidship people that cultists can infiltrate. These people would know. They'd be like, that guy does not belong here. He's sus. And then they throw them out an airlock. We'd be the first to report them. It could just be that one of the lower deck crew found something and were ignorant of what it was as well. From one of the cultists. It could have been planted by a cultist to sow this kind of disorder. They've tormented us enough. old Nan says so. For there's always a fucking old Nan, isn't there? As for the amulet, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists breathing, that's for sure. When that fight broke out, enterprising folks looted bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody ever treaded the decks in boots so fine. So, post-uprising at the start of the game, these people swarmed into the upper decks to loot bodies, because they need to do that. And then they fled back down here. Makes sense. Oh, those boots were really fine, yeah. No harm in taking them. As for the amulet, it may have been pocketed who didn't know any better. We don't need amulets round here. We're simple folk, we don't need no amulets round here. We all worship the Emperor. And we're working, when we're working, we bow before the machine spirit. The machine spirit of the large and small transformers of the servo motor. Yes. Damn right you do. We're people of faith. Naive children. Weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the archenemy's creations? And unfamiliar objects could be any one of them? Feels to me like what these people need is Big E. They need some Big E in their lives. I mean, they feel they have him, but there's nobody down here preaching. We were told, but it was a long time ago. We saw a confessor in our sector, just after I had my third little one. Yeah, these people don't get a regular round of the ecclesiarchy coming in here to preach the word. Cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulder of holy fathers. Who will you blame when the beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from heretics? Abe, do you have anything to add to this? So I guess my armor needs cleaning now. I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. Specific steps taken by officers were not reported to me. On the one hand, Abe, you like to say that you are involved in the running of many parts of this ship and that it's your duty, and then on the other hand you say, but those individual officers, you know, they've been doing this on their own. I told them to come down here and do it. But how they've done it is entirely on their shoulder. Like, no. That sounds to me like you've maybe given them too loose a leash. But he's standing by it. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. Sourback, was it necessary to torture everybody with cold? Understands one language, that of violence. That sounds like a person of privilege, if I ever did hear it. Should the labourers persist in unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting air supply and then cutting off water. Didn't you watch Total Recall? That's when people start up fucking alien reactors and shit, you know? They can grumble all they want, but in the end, they're sources of their own misery. Yeah, because they didn't grovel and scrape. How do you explain the attack on the way here? Here's an explanation for you. The people have been punished to their limit and they're lashing out. I kind of, I'm with her on that. Clans are all inside. The bay have been sealed off. Lower decks are big. I'm sure there are people who've had just about enough. We're getting it from all sides. Yeah. The words, yeah, my awareness test. Words seem sincere, body language at the glance as traded between them reveal that the news of the attack has shocked them. They're like, oh no, somebody actually threw shit at them? Fuck, we're in trouble. What changes do you want? The Exalted Lord himself asking the Bildrats what we want? Rein in the Enforcers, quit turning off the heat and stop battering everything that moves. We want them gone. And we want to be armed. We can govern ourselves. And if cultists show their faces... Ooh! I don't like that last bit, but I will rein in the Enforcers. If I can kind of meet them halfway, that'd be great. You've gone too far. Oh, this old man. The other guy's like, no, fuck. Shit. Oh, boy. That's too far. They'll never never let maggots of the lower decks live without enforcers breathing down their neck. They probably insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. Yes, the enforcers are everywhere, not just here. It probably feels like you're the only ones being hit by them, but I'm sure people on the upper decks get hit too. What do we need the weapons for? Before the first day's out, we'll have somebody shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. Gun control? Really? You advocate for that? Wow. Okay. So, we've got a Republican and a Democrat here. But they do want people to stop hassling. Speak for yourself and your clan, I'll speak for mine. I don't want empty gestures, I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, and then as soon as their anointed backs are turned, the brutes will be on us even harder than before. Tall worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every second he opens his mouth as is planning to agree, but each time he says, can't get a word in between y'all two. Ay. Coercion 70. Oh, that's because of Cassia. Miss. Spreading the enemy on the ship is the first step toward embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. More enforcers would then be needed to maintain oversight and order with that. Withdraw those demands and we consider the rest. I'll give the order for the enforcers to be withdrawn from the sector and you will be given weapons. Let's see how you cope. 3 days later, the entire bottom half of the ship just shears itself off in a gout of laser fire. Like, fuck, that was a bad idea. Alright, Abe, what are your thoughts? I mean, I've got to ask my officers, I can't just ignore them. Stories about getting scavenging for boots and picking up heretical amulets doesn't convince me. These people were moments away from rebelling because they've been harassed and beaten repeatedly and lost 2 kids in the freezing cold. You'd be pissed too. Maybe we create our own enemies from within that way by not treating them like human beings. Begins as petty thievery, turns into a graver problem. I mean, it's true as well. This is the thing about the 40k setting, is that yes, it's not just all social commentary. Having a chaos-tainted amulet amongst them would eventually turn people to chaos. Fucking Fulgrim himself became a heretic and betrayer because he was walking around with a fucking sword that had a demon's spirit in it that was whispering in his ear all the time, you know, telling him to, you know, snort cocaine off of some hooker's bottom and then go murder people with very loud music. And he was like, seems like a good idea, sure. Yeah. Like, if a Primarch wasn't immune to that kind of... I mean, granted, that was a very powerful chaos effect, but that was a powerful chaos effect on a powerful mind. This is a minor chaos effect on small minds. I don't mean that in a bad way, but yeah, on the regular people, a good old-fashioned human being, you know? Like, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, so, you know, even just pocketing a knife from the body of a heretic and the whole unit lost their lives for it. Ooh. Managed to break into the barracks, found not a single survivor, only the knife. See? Fulgrim, once again. Fucking cursed knives and swords, Jesus. It had grown through all of the rows of beds like a metal-choking vine. Well, they made a mistake. And it seems like we got here in time to deal with that. Master-at-Arms? I think I know where you stand. Oh, just move aside and I can start breaking skulls. Give the rebel a grox and they will take an aggro world, Lord Captain. They only understand brute force and they will interpret coercion as concession as a sign of weakness. Giving them weapons and recalling enforcers would be folly. It would be a matter of time before we had a full-scale mutiny. I'm willing to take that chance. So, coercion 70, spreading the archenemy on the ship in the first step toward embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would only make that worse. And enforcers are needed to maintain oversight. We will withdraw those demands and we will consider the rest. Yeah, withdraw the demand of the weapons. Rivet speaks up. Old Nan, listen. Listen, the Lord Captain himself has come to us to offer a concession. I don't know a single person in the whole of Depot 4 who stood next to a rogue trader, let alone talked to them. Back down. Now's not the time to be a stubborn old crone. Yeah, the 3 clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. Listen to the man. You two are ganging up on me, is that it? So brave you are against an old woman, but I'll shut up. And I will indeed. Won't go against 2 clan leaders on my own. But go make your peace with the enforcers. She's going to be a problem later. We are agreed. It doesn't sound like you are, Rivet. It sounds like she's just capitulating stubbornly. She's conceding. She's not agreeing. That's not the same thing. Time will prove out. Persecutions stop. And I expect you to assist in yes, that's the thing as well. It will stop, but if we suspect there is a heretic among you all, we want cooperation. Okay, and anything you guys... I think it would be like anything you guys looted after the uprising, you need to pile it all up right here so we can go through it. Okay, and look for anything tainted. Sounds fair. Might be a better way to handle this in the future. You guys want to go looting? If there's heretics on the ship, fine. But before you get back, have it all inspected, please, for the good of us all. If there's one heretic, then all the lower decks burns. True, I'm taking a risk, and that's going to happen, I'm sure. I'm going to be punished for this. Because it's going to be like, we were all heretics all along. Rivet was the heretic. Look at him, he's wearing all black.